Hi, everyone, and welcome to your Dragon Energy reading. Quite excited about this one today because we're going to be talking about what is your fortune. And I actually, for this reading, also called upon the goddess Fortuna, or also known as Tyche in Greek mythology, to come in and help with what your fortune is going to be, what they're going to be bringing to you. So yeah, quite excited about this. Now, we have 3 piles here for you to choose from. Pile 1 is with red mahogany heart. Pile 2 is with zebra jasper heart. And pile 3 is with Dalmation jasper heart. So whatever pile number or whatever crystal calls to you is the one that you are meant to hear. But by all means, you can watch more than one. But let's get right into this because I'm really quite excited to see how this is all going to unfold. Hi to those of you who chose pile 1 or this red tiger eye heart crystal. This is going to be your reading. So we're going to do overall energy. We're going to do live tarot and oracle at the end for confirmation, clarification of what's put out on the table. But let's get started, okay? So first card out is love. So what is Fortuna bringing to you, and what is the energy and message coming in as she's also working with the dragon energy? Love it is. Love is in the air. A great time for commitment and taking relationships to the next level. Well, there we go. That's positive and lovely. Also, overall energy, we have the Lady of the Lake, absolute truth, courage, self-respect, and responsibility. Okay, I like this, you guys. All right, let's go here. We have the dusky pink dragon from Andromeda and the 10 of Cups. We have Oberon and the Chariot. We have Invention, burning with passion. This is, oh, it always, I know, I'm like a parrot. I say this over and over again. And then we have Independence and the Tower. For saying the same thing over and over again, you guys, but it still blows my mind how the cards come out with your story unfolded right here. Okay, so what are they bringing in for you? Love. Okay, so let's just get started with it. So we have, the way I had asked for it too is I want to read the tarot with each one of these cards, but then as an overall message. So overall, they're bringing in love, but what I think they want to say to you, because this is a goddess, so this is divine feminine energy. 1, be truthful when it comes to this relationship or this love. Have self-respect and be responsible, okay? I just love that. Because, you know, she has the, I can't remember, it's the sword, right? King Arthur, I can't remember what the name of it is. But anyway, so we have here, dusky pink dragon from Andromeda. So this particular dragon, it says it prepares all your chakras to embody higher love, okay? Accept and radiate higher love. Touch others with its flame. And what's being read here with it is the 10 of Cups, meaning you will have, perfect is not the word, because, you know, nothing is perfect, but you are going to achieve that love that you're looking for. And I also see musical notes here, so I want to say that maybe somehow you and your person may be related through music, possibly. Okay. And what else does she have in her hand there? Oh, it's just like some little, maybe like a little baby dragon or something. Yeah. So maybe for some of you, this is the person that you're going to meet and have a, you know, and have a family with. Okay. But what I love about these messages too, with the dragons, they have a very gentle energy, but yet it's strong and it is courageous and resilient. It's kind of, I always kind of feel like I feel the love, but I feel that it's no nonsense as well. And so what I normally do for these particular cards here, I do not know all of these different dragons by name. So I always just read what it's about and to see how it ties in. So I'm going to look here for, what is his name? Orbron. Oh, maybe that's not this one here. Yes. Okay. So what do we have about him? He is here to reassure you that you can achieve what you want. He's firmly grounded, okay, and in effect connects to our base chakra. So he relates to everything that makes up our physical lives and the world we create for ourselves. And just let me go through here because I want to see what his message is, what pops out. Seek the path of least resistance. Okay, so that's what I'm going to pull from that. So, and what I love is the fact that the Chariot card come out with that. And even though not necessarily depicted in this particular card, although I do just feel all these reds and maroons, it's like a fiery energy for me, right? But what I do want to say is whenever I used to think of the chariot driver, it was always like, or the chariot, I would think of the driver. And it was always like, he needs to be alert on his toes. He needs to pick, okay, the path of least resistance, right? Because when you think back to those old chariot races, if you ever see them in movies, I mean, they were like super dangerous. Anyway, so I think of that, which kind of ties in with finding the path of least resistance. So in other words, I want to say pile one, if you were out dating or however it is that you're meeting someone, okay? If there's resistance and something pushing back against the connection with that person, probably not the person. Time to move on to the next one. And I feel like that's what they're saying here. You're probably going to go, sounds so bad, go through a few people, but you're going to end up dating a few people possibly where there's going to be resistance. But use your intuition because the Chariot is also fourth house, which is ruled by the moon. And it is your home, your family. It's your inner emotional being. So trust your intuition. Is the pushback or the resistance because that person is opposing or offensive to you in some way? And I don't mean the general way of offensive, but there's just something that doesn't feel right. You trust that. Or is it just the resistance that maybe this person is a little bit shy and holding back? I mean, right? So use your discernment there. Use your intuition. They want to say that for you, okay? And then we have down here invention, burning with passion. So I want to say that if you are operating this in your absolute truth, right? And you're able to use your discernment, your intuition here in order to get all of this, you're going to feel that passion ignited within you, okay? You're going to be like, think of Eight of Swords. It's going to be like a breakthrough moment or where you're going to be like, I don't know, where, you hear the angelic songs playing. I don't know. Maybe that's why there's music here, right? You're going to be like, this is my person, or you're going to hear your song, or somehow if it relates to music, that's going to be your key. That will be your moment where you're like, oh, okay, this one's going to be successful, right? It's Ace of Swords. It's new beginnings. It's also mental clarity, right? So you're going to be clear on this is the person. This is the one. Okay, so like these may resonate for different people in different ways. The other one over here is independence and the Tower. And what I want to say about this, the feeling that comes in right away is that maybe you have just gone through a tower moment in your life, and this is why they're bringing love to you, because it's time to get back out there. It's time to have a relationship, companionship, to start dating again. This is definitely in a romantic way. Normally when I talk about love, it could, it could be your family, it could be friends, whatever, but no, not in this case. They are bringing you in. They're bringing you in a partner, a companion. Okay. And like I said, maybe it's because you've just had your own tower moment and you're now finally feeling, I just want to say with this card here, fierce and independent, right? And courageous, like all of these things. You're ready. I'm getting tongue-tied. You just feel that you're now ready to maybe go on this path again. So the people that came to this pile, they are going to be bringing love in for you. Now, if you already have love in your life, one, it could be that this may not be your pile, or two, it could really be a strengthening of that love, of that relationship, okay? Or where you're going to go to the next level, it said, or make a stronger commitment with one another. Maybe you've been through a tower moment with one another. Maybe you were both acting very independent and now it's time for you to come together. So that could be a message as well. But right now, let's pull some tarot here to see what else the dragons and Lady Goddess Fortuna has to say. All right. Anything that can clarify, confirm what's on the table, or additional advice. I like that you're getting love coming in. I like that it's going to be 10 of Cups. I love the advice that they've given, right? So let's see here. What do we have? Six of Cups. All right. I'm going to read them all at the end. I like it if this is about love and cups are coming out, then I really like this. Okay. 9 of Wands, I think falls into this tower moment, but let's get one more here. Page of Swords. Yes. Okay, you guys. So 6 of Cups. What I want to say is this could be somebody that you already know. This is someone that you are already aware of. It won't be for everyone. It could be someone coming back in from your past. But clearly, if you don't want someone from your past, then this will be new. But also, I just want to say, for me, the 6 of Cups also just says, harmonious and success, right? Because 6s are harmony, success, excitement, communication. It can even be reciprocated feelings. Okay, so it could be that for you. And with the 9 of Wands, like I said, for those of you who have been in bad, maybe situations or relationships, you're finally able to put those wands down, put the heavy burden down, okay? Because this is where you're finally going to get your fulfillment with the 10 of Cups. What it is that you do want in a relationship. And I feel that this tower moment is what has caused you to lay these wands down and the burdens and the heaviness and getting ready to move on here. And with the Page of Swords, it's kind of like, again, it comes back to the Ace. It's kind of a new way of doing things. You're going to have new ideas coming in, maybe for the way you want the relationship to go, or it could also be, and this just kind of came in too, really, you're going to know it's the person when you just want to know everything about them. And I like that card is here with this, because remember I said, if there's any kind of resistance, so maybe this is just a further. So if you're kind of out in that first date or first meeting or whatever it is, and you're kind of like, yeah, I really don't care to get to know this person any further, then you trust that, right? Because the person that's meant for you, one of the signs that you will get, other than feeling the burning in your belly, or other places, will be, you're going to want to know everything about them. You're going to be really curious about them. You're going to want, what else? You're going to, honestly, I think you're even like for communication, it's going to be like, you'll be saying to yourself, I don't normally talk to people this way, but with him, her, them, that's how I want to talk, right? Like, I don't know. It's going to change everything, and that's how you're going to know. All right, let's get an oracle here. We're going to actually do 2 oracles, but we'll do this one first. Let's see what else we have. This is great. I love that they've even, oh, here we go. This one came out. Life will support the vision you have for yourself. Make it the best it can be. So we're talking about love here. So what is your vision? What are you looking for in a person? Because that is what you speak it out to God, source, universe, the goddess Fortuna, you know, the lady of the lake, your many dragons here, this beautiful dusty pink dragon from Andromeda, right? Speak it out. And that's what they will bring in for you. They know what's best for you too, but let's work together, right? Let's everybody be on board. So I'm quite excited. I don't get a lot of love readings because I don't actually do love readings here, but if they do come up in a pick a card, I love to do them. I think it's quite exciting for you. I would consider this fortunate if this is what you're looking for. Okay, oh, actually, we had 3 come out. I don't want 3. I just need 1. So let's just get 1. Peace. We have the southern comma is the butterfly on here, and it is the olive branch. Okay. Oh, I like that. So I usually read from the book because there's some questions for reflection that I like that you can take with you. And that's all I pull from it. So let me just see here. Let's get peace. All right. Yeah. So the plant is the olive tree, and the butterfly is the southern comma. So you may want to look into that. Maybe a spirit animal for you. Okay. But what I want to say is, another thing, this is another way I think you'll know. You're just going to feel, it's going to feel easy. It's going to feel peaceful. It's going to feel effortless, I want to say, right? It's just going to be effortless. But what are the questions? In what ways can I seek peace, and how can I bring peace to others? I like that. So in what way can I seek peace? Because in order to draw a peaceful connection into your life, you have to be peaceful with yourself, right? And then how can I bring it to others? So within the relationship, it's really each day asking yourself, how can this just be a peaceful union, right? Because like I said, maybe you've been through bad in the past and it hasn't been peaceful. So this is, how can I make it peaceful this time around? Or if this is a brand new relationship for you, you're not coming out of this tower, then it's just keeping peace, bringing it in, but it's also feeling it here, over here. Remember, we were talking about, kind of use your intuition, use your discernment. How does this feel for you? You also want this feeling. You want to be able for it to be just, you want to know everything about them, but you also just want to have that overall feeling of peace. And I just looked over here and saw the word responsibility, and I think that's also going to be another sign for you. This is someone who is responsible, that I want to say talks in some way about responsibility. Maybe if they're telling you stories about themselves, you will find that they're telling you stories about how they took responsibility for their actions. I'm not sure exactly how it's all going to come out for you, pile 1, but I wish you all the best. And I think that this is a very, very nice, what is your fortune message, okay? If you like this, please throw me a like. Also, subscribe to my channel if you feel called to do so. I love doing these energy type readings. I love using theme decks, right? And if you like that, please subscribe. And if you know anyone that maybe you need to share this with, because it's time for them to start dating. It's time for them to get back out there again. Maybe they need to hear a message like this. If it's meant to find them, then you're meant to, right? You'll share it with them. So please do that as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Hi to those of you who chose pile 2 or this zebra Jasper heart. Let's get right into your reading. We're going to do overall energy. We're going to do live tarot and oracle at the end for confirmation, clarification of the cards on the table or additional advice. But let's get started. Let's see what Goddess Fortuna has brought to you or is bringing to you, and what the dragon energy is around it, because they're working together here. So we have nature, the fire fairy, and then each one of these cards I asked, I normally don't do this, but I thought it might be good for this reading for whatever reason, to bring these cards out with a tarot card for each one. So we'll get into all of these. Oh, this one came out with 2. I was like, why is there 2 cards there? That's right, it did. Okay. And this and this. Okay. Okay, pile 2. Let's get into this. I see a lot of swords energy here. Transformation. Okay, let's read this. Nature. Interact with nature in the outdoors, around animals, farmlands, or by the ocean. This will be good for the soul and healing for you. Okay. I'm going to go straight to this 2 of Cups here when I said it will be good for your soul and healing for you. I feel, pile 2, that what they're going to bring you, or maybe help you with, just looking at these 2 tarot cards right here, and the fact that it's good for your soul and healing. They're going to bring you out of a relationship or a situation that is not good for you. So for you, pile 2, this is, like, I'm looking at this Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords. I'm thinking relationship, right? Knight of Cups, 2 of Cups, 6 of... They're bringing you, I want to say, out of a relationship. I almost want to say a love relationship, a partnership, a marriage, whatever it may be. I think that's for the majority of you. For some of you, it could just be out of a bad situation in itself. It could be at your job or what have you, or with family. But for the majority of you, I feel it is a relationship, just given the 2 of Cups and the fact that we have a King and a Queen here and a Knight of Cups. But I'm not really feeling that this is a happy situation at all. And that's why they're bringing you this gift of helping you to get out of it. Okay, so let's talk about the how, the who, what, where, when, why, how of that. So, and I'm feeling kind of serious here. So we have creative, the fire fairy. Okay, fiery energy. We know, I want to say I see creative action, but what's popping out is just action. And that makes me think of like of an Aries energy, right? Like an Aries first house, all about me, myself, and I. And this is about you, but taking action, I want to say. And just, she looks very serious here too, this fire fairy. She just looks very serious, but at the same time, I'm kind of getting a don't mess with me feeling. But also there's optimism showing here on the card. But I think there's fiery action that needs to be taken. So let's read the rest of the cards, because this is all going to tie together. We have White Gold Dragon from Lyra. Connects you to the highest Christ light. Nice. Develop your, I think it's causal, the way you pronounce it, causal chakra. Bathe in 9th dimensional Christ light. So that's really calling on this dragon energy to raise that vibration and to connect to Christ's light. You know, there's the violet flame, there's the blue flame of Archangel Michael. There's all different, I can't go through them all because I don't know them all right off the top of my head, but you understand they want to raise you up. Okay. And I think that's where we're getting this. They want to raise you up and out of whatever it is that you're in, because we have the Six of Swords, which is you going from what we will say, just typical card, rocky shore to calm water, or from a bad situation to a good situation. Because transformation, and this is the transformation dragon. I always like to just pull the book and read about these dragons because I don't know them all by name. But this is transformation dragon. There's a transformation that needs to take place in your life, not in the person that you're leaving behind, in your life, because this is about you. I feel very Aries energy here. This is about you, and you, okay? And you coming out of this relationship. And just the fact, I know that cards are different, right? But if you want to read like the art on the cards, I even like see how there's two cups and it kind of feels bound by fire. And I don't feel like it's a good fire. I feel like it's a combative fire, okay? And they want you to raise your vibration, to raise yourself up out of this. This is going to be hard work, pile two. It really is. Let me see what Transformation Dragon has to say, and to see what we get there from him. Okay, Transformation. Here we go. Transformation. All right. A new you is emerging. See, there's a reason I always pull the book for these ones, because like I said, each dragon has its own energy, literally, and they all have a different message or insight for you. So in this case, transformation is saying a new you is emerging. Let it all go. Fear, pain, doubt, anger, sorrow, and guilt. You no longer need these experiences. They are in the past. They have completed their task and have no place in your future. By holding on to them, you are only keeping yourself trapped in old patterns that are no longer of use or necessary to you. Oh, wow. Okay, that was powerful, you guys. Okay. Transformation, you can call on that transformation. Oh, here, sorry, I just saw something else popped out. Follow the steps laid out before you, trusting your own inner light as you move toward a fresh way of being you. The fact that it said an inner light, and we're talking here about the highest Christ light, you are, I believe, are really going to have to tap into your spirituality, your religion, whatever it is for you, wherever you go to for source power, you are really going to have to tap into that energy, because this is not going to be easy for you to get out of, but they're saying it is time. And that's why we're bringing this message to you, so that you know you go to God's source universe. Like I said, whoever it is, your dragon energy, call on Transformation Dragon. And I know people think, you know, dragons aren't real. You know what? Have you seen an angel? But we believe in them. The angels laugh whenever I say that, right? Because it's like, okay. But it's true. You know, energy is energy. And there are many different creatures and beings and entities out there in the world, good and bad, high and low vibration. We're only dealing with the high vibration ones in this reading. I'm telling you right now, because that's what we call in. And with Archangel Michael here, that's all he's going to let in, okay? But I swear, I'm going to keep reading the rest of the cards here, okay? Resources, Knight of Cups, and Queen of Swords. With resources, I just had a flash of an Oprah show which was about women who were going to be leaving relationships, okay? You know, they always suggest, if you can, it's not always possible, but what can you save up for yourself monetarily? Or what will you need to leave? Or who can you go to get help to make this happen? It's time to start setting the plan, is what I want to say. It's time to start creating your plan, putting things, checking the boxes, right? Like get everything set up, because these situations are sometimes difficult. Some can be dangerous situations for people. Others are not. It's going to depend on who you are and what your situation is. And you know, the fact that you have to tread very lightly and will need help to do this, okay? Some of you are definitely going to need help. Some of you are just simply going to be able to set aside some cash and, you know, you can kind of do it under the radar. Others, you do not have that option. And what I want to say here with the Queen of Swords, because this is my... oh my God, Game of Thrones deck. This is Cersei Lannister. Okay. You know, not always the greatest woman, kind of cold and calculating. I think you might have to take on a little bit of that energy, even if you have to hide it. Okay. Because I have cups here, which is just making me think, I know that's not normally the Knight of Cups, but with the cups here, you may have to kind of hide that energy. But that is the energy you're going to take on, where you are becoming or walking into embracing your independence, right? But thinking clearly, but also I also want to say taking on a bit of the King of Swords, a bit of calculating energy, because he can be calculating sometimes. But either way, it's swords, it's air, it's smart, it's intellect, and it's having clear thought and a clear plan, okay? And with the Knight of Cups, what I want to say is coming out, like it kind of brought in that you may have to hide that emotion, right, within, okay? But also with the Knight of Cups, I want to say you may have to get really creative in the way that you're going to do this. Get those resources, put those resources into place, all right? You may have to really be using your imagination and creativity to get this, to get the resources set up. But look, you've got fiery Aries energy, which is a can-do energy. You will be able to do this because you know that this is no longer where you need to be. And they're going to help you with this. It may be something you're already planning or working on for some of you. For others, this may be the message where you say, okay, I see that, you know, they've got my back. And what I want to say about this last set of cards with bliss, that's not what you're experiencing right now. But you can experience that, okay? And I do not like this is, I can't remember his name, but he was, you know, the one with the blue eyes from the other side of the wall. I'm having I'm having a mind blank, but I do not like that card. This King of Swords to me is just pure calculating, authoritarian, I almost want to say, in a bad way. I feel like that's what you're involved in. And that's why you need to be resourceful and may need to hide doing this in some cases for some people, because this person is not going to give you an inch. It won't be for everyone. Like I said, some people will be able to do it under the radar. Some of you will not, because you've got this King of Swords energy, and it's not a nice energy with this card. Okay? But that is the main message. They really want you to call upon higher higher Christ light. I mean, really, but at this point, you're just really, you're calling on, yes, God, source, the Christ light, universe, whomever it is for you that you go to help guide you, okay, from this situation to safety, I want to say, or just from bad, rocky to better, where you can eventually find your bliss and happiness. Sorry that this is a heavy message for you, but I also feel that it's a bit positive if we think of it in the sense that this message was brought to you today for a reason. Whoever chose pile 2, to know that there is healing and transformation for you, and that whole spirit realm has your back right now. And you call on them and you listen to your intuition. If an idea pops into your head, do not dismiss it. You know, it may not end up being one of the resources you use, or it very well could be. Okay, let's get some more tarot here. 10 of Cups. I'm putting it down here with the bliss, and I'm covering up that ugly card. This is going to work out for you. You're letting go. You're putting the burden down. The 10 of Wands, you are letting it go. And death, transformation, death and rebirth. That's what the death card is. Do not panic, people. The death card is about death and rebirth, getting rid of the old so that you can move on to the new, so that you can be like the butterfly coming out of the cocoon, okay? Call on Bliss Dragon to help. I just love the gold here. The fact that we were calling on white golden dragon energy light here, Christ light, and we have bliss. You are really going to have to, maybe you're going to find support in a spiritual, from the spiritual group that you're with, or friends, or your church. I mean, it really can be anything. But what they want you to know is that they're here to help you. They're here to help you remove yourself from this situation. And again, if it's a dangerous situation, you need to call on resources. Okay? You need to call on resources. You need to have a plan. But you will find your peace, your emotional, balanced, peaceful, safe existence, I want to say, at the end of all this. Because you're laying it down, you're getting rid of it, and it's time. We have transformation here and here. It's time. So let me pull a couple of other oracles for you. Pile 2. Now, the interesting thing here, pile 2, and I'm just going to say this because in pile 1, it was all about new relationship. But what had come up at the end in pile 1, if you want to go through and watch it, I don't think you're in a place right now to be out dating. No, that's not why. But maybe for future, because I talked about maybe some of the people that came to pile 1 were coming out of, it was a tower, actually. They were coming out of a tower moment. And it just might be uplifting for you to know that there is going to be bliss and joy, and you will find sometime, somewhere down the road, the companionship, partnership, friendships, relationships that are going to serve your highest good. Because this is not serving your highest good. And to remain optimistic, as hard as it's going to be throughout this. Now it says, honor your commitments, be loyal to your soul's longings. This is where you will find joy. So what I want to say, pile 2, is, you know, you have free will. So this is totally up to you. This is just the energy and the advice that's coming in. Okay. if you were to make a decision like this, right? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. You know, it is tarot and oracle. You always have to be safe, okay? But this is the message that's coming in. Honor your commitments. Be loyal to your soul's longing, and this is where you will find joy, find your bliss. So just keep that in mind. Because the universe, God, source are never going to tell you what to do. They can't make you do something, okay? They can throw this out here. We want it to know, what is your fortune? Your fortune is you could be coming out of a really bad situation or just a not so pleasant situation. And this message come up because you're thinking, well, that's not really fortune. Well, not in the sense of it's I'm going to go back because I feel like this is fortunate that you got this message today. Okay. So let's just get one more card. I like these cards. There's a butterfly dragon, faith, a flower, and it's the passion flower. And the butterfly is the golf fertility. But in the book, which I always pull, there's like a question or something for thought. So let's look here for faith. What do I have faith in above all else? Christ light energy. How can I have more faith in myself? Like we said at the beginning, this is all about you. You. So just keep asking yourself those questions and keep answering it with something new. What do I have faith in above all else? And how can I have more faith in myself? Okay, that is your reading, pile 2. I am going to say I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought clarity to you in some way. And if you liked it, please throw me a like. If there's someone in your life that you know is in a situation like this, please share this message with them. It could be helpful. And if you like my energy readings, because they're not always heavy, okay? they're not. But you know, you come to a message like this, you pick a pile because it's the message that you need to hear. And it could be out of maybe 50 people that pick pile 2, there could be 2 of you that this is going to resonate with, or it could be 10. I have no idea. They do, and that's the important thing, and that's why the message came through. So I wish you all the best. Please be safe, and I will see you next time. Hi to those of you who chose pile 3 or this Dalmation Jasper heart. This is going to be your overall dragon energy reading, but also calling in Goddess Fortuna, okay? Just to see what is your fortune. So we're going to start with overall energy. We're going to do tarot and oracle in this. We're going to pull live oracle and tarot. Live oracle and tarot at the end for further clarification, confirmation of what's going to be out on the table or additional advice. So let's just get started. Reflection, overall energy, and joy. I'm happy to see this because pile 2 was pretty heavy. So I feel like I need a little joy right now. So let's... Black dragon. And I also did this so that I pulled an oracle and a tarot. Okay. So Merlin the dragon, the world, 10 of spears. It's 10 of swords, I guess. Transformation, the empress. Well, if you're going to transform and plant new seeds and grow, you want the empress beside you. So I like that. And then we have mirror and the devil. Oh, that damn Ramsay Bolton from Game of Thrones. It's in a few different cards and they're all bad. I just don't like that guy. Okay, so let's see pile 3. What is for you here? Reflection. Friendships in your life may come to an end. Others could blossom and become stronger. So that's what the dragon energy, the dragons are bringing in for you. That is what Fortuna is bringing in for you. That is what God Source Universe is bringing in for you. This is your good fortune, okay? You are going to be getting rid of some potentially, and just because I'm seeing the devil card here, just not good energy friends that are around you, but they are either going to be replaced with new friends that are going to be for your highest good, or friendships that you already have are going to become stronger for your highest good. But let's get into more message here, because there's always message to go along with that. So joy, just joy. There's nothing else to say about joy. When all of this happens, it's going to be successful, I want to say right now. But let's just see here. What do we have? Black Dragon. What does Black Dragon say? Cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. All right. The fact that I said if you were going to transform, you would want the Empress beside you, and it happens to be Khaleesi, right? Which I love. I always call her still Khaleesi, but what I want to say is the Empress, right? The Empress is all about planting your seeds, growing and nurturing and being abundant. And what do we have here? This dragon has his tail and himself wrapped around, like cocooning this plant that it's watching it grow. Okay? And it said here, other friendships could blossom. So this is really about bringing more joy through your friendships, your acquaintances in your life. And with the Ten of Swords, it's letting go of those ones that aren't serving your highest purpose. And that may feel painful for you, because when you let friends go, it's not easy. But when they're not for your highest good in the moment, even, sometimes you have to. And that's because you have a transformation to go through. You have to be almost like in your own little protective bubble so that you can grow, or so that they can bring things in that will blossom in your life. And with Merlin the Dragon, normally I look these cards up, but I don't have to for this one, because I know Merlin the Dragon here is just all about, he's like the magician, right? Merlin the Dragon is the magician dragon. So you also, along with the Empress, who's totally capable of manifesting what it is that she wants to plant and grow and bring into her life, so is Merlin the Dragon. So call on that energy. And I believe I had said in pile 2. I didn't say it in pile 1 because I didn't feel there was a need to. But in this particular case, I need to say it again. We can sit here and for some of you maybe listening who's new to dragon energy, or just curious, dragon energy, they are a high vibrational, higher dimensional being, just like angels, just like your spirit guides, just like your ancestors, just like the fairies, just like the unicorns. It's mystical and magical. There's all types of energies and beings and entities out there in this vast universe and beyond that we haven't seen. And I always say it, and then the angels always are they just kind of laugh and shake their head, which is, most of us have not seen angels either. Okay. So, but I'm an angel believer, so do not get me wrong there. I believe in all of this energy. I absolutely do, because I believe it's all of God's source universe, whatever it is that you believe in. Okay. So what I want to say here is believe in the magic of Merlin the Dragon, and they want you to ask them for help. So as you're being cocooned, maybe as you're going through the hard time here where friendships may come to an end, call on Black Dragon to surround you with protective love. Okay. And protective, just to make you feel loved and protected, to help you grow. Call on Merlin to help manifest and bring in the friends that you do want, or the friendships that you do want to become stronger or to blossom. And with the World, that's kind of like the ending of the whole cycle of the tarot, isn't it, right? We start off on our new path and we get to the World, we come to the end. But what I want to say is, with this card, what comes in intuitively with it is, this is the ending of a cycle. This is just confirming it. The other thing I want to say is, with Merlin, I said you want to manifest in whatever it is that that you want. You can have the world, okay? You can literally have the world. You could have friendships from all over the world, especially today with social media. Always be discerning, of course. But do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't the end, okay? This is not the end. Look back at yourself as this little plant that's going to grow and blossom, or the relationships in your life doing that. And with transformation, defining yourself. I almost want to say redefining yourself. You've let go of people for a reason. You're getting closer to other people for a reason. Maybe you want to redefine, or just define, okay, the boundaries. Maybe you didn't have strong boundaries with the relationships that need to go, or friendships that need to go. And now this is a time for you to set boundaries for yourself. A 3 is also for communication, but it's also about, your community. Okay. So that may, just trigger something in someone that's important. But I love the way he's standing here. And when it says defining yourself and transformation, I still, transformation's death and rebirth, right? You're getting rid of the old to bring in the new. But I love that his hand is just up against the chest of the dragon. And it is a unicorn dragon too, which I love. But it's up against there. So in other words, I feel like that's like a boundary. Like, okay, it's time for you to stop. This is my space. Dirty Dancing. where he gave her, like, she had her space and he had his space. That's what I kind of feel, right? And maybe that's what you need to do in your friendships so that they can blossom further and grow. But the Empress is nurturing and loving, and that's the energy that you will take on to help you do this. And with the Mirror Dragon, what I want to say here with Mirror is, call on Mirror so that you see yourself clearly, because we have reflection here, right? You see yourself clearly, because what you are is what you are going to attract. This is with everything in your life, including friendships. So if you are looking at a friend and they're mirroring back to you what you like, right? All the things that you enjoy, then that's the person for you. If you're looking in the mirror and all you're getting back is careless, addictive, negative, hateful, selfish energy, then that's not who you should be looking at or wanting to build a friendship with. I don't know, for some of you, you just need to hear that. You want your friends to reflect back to you, I guess, yourself in a way, right? I mean, I'm not saying that they need to be like you. You just, if you want loving, kind, fun, energetic, going out, loves to talk about a variety of things, you can count on them for anything kind of friendship, that's what you want them mirroring back to you. Okay? But you also want to give that to them. So it has to be a reflection. Yeah, it has to be a reflection for each of you. Okay. Love this message. That's what they're going to bring into your life. Stronger, better relationships, but also a transformation in you where you're going to call in what it is you want in friendships. And also you're going to notice a difference in yourself because you're going to transform and grow as well. And it's just going to bring utter joy into your life. That's the greatest thing about all of this. Okay, let's get 3 more tarot here. Confirmation, clarification, additional advice. Knight of Wands. Like it. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. Five of Wands. Love how the Five of Wands fell right up here on the Devil card, okay? And on the Ending card. Love it, love it. Okay, so let's talk about these. Knight of Wands. What is the Knight of Wands, right? Kind of bringing in a message, which I think is this, but also it's the message of we are going to bring people into your life that are passionate, that inspire you. Remember I said, I don't know if I said adventurous, but, you know, friends that are going to be adventurous, that are going to want to go out and take risks sometimes, and maybe sometimes act a little foolish with you, right? You know, people who are charismatic, right? Or again, with that adventurous, maybe you like to have some impulsive friends in your group. They're the ones that kind of keep you like, hey, let's do this, right? That's what I think that this is just kind of confirming for you. With the Queen of Pentacles, I believe that it's also going to be friends who, with all that fire, also can keep you grounded. Friends who are responsible. Just because you're impulsive and fiery and act foolish sometimes doesn't mean that you're not responsible at your core. But you need friendships, I think, that are a balance of both. That might be it, right? Those friends that are nurturing to you because you want to be nurturing to them, loyal to you because you're loyal to them, that are grounded, that are helpful because you help them. And with the Five of Wands energy, I want to say that these are the friends that you're getting rid of. Could it be 5 friends? I don't know. That just popped up. But you know, where there's always just, it was never real full-on fights because it's not swords. It was never totally hurtful like that. But it was wands where there was always just, you know, I just say it's the kids playing with sticks, right? It's somebody, I can't remember who it is. It says it's like practice fighting or getting ready to learn how to fight or whatever. It's just an unsettled energy that I think is just a little combative, maybe a little jealous, a little competitive, and you know, and then everything that encompasses the devil energy, right? Addictive, possessive. Those are not the friendships you want, and they're the ones you're getting rid of. Lovely. Love this. Okay, let's look. I mean, this is a lovely, you know, they're bringing this in for you. This is your fortune. You're lucky. You're fortunate. Okay. Be led by your own inner soul light. Healing and enlightenment are within. This goes back to, you can take that message as is, but you want people that are for your highest good, okay? And you want people to reflect back to you what it is that you like. What you're giving, they're reflecting and giving that back to you. So if you're giving them, if you're shining your light out, right? If you're letting your own soul light lead you, then you are going to attract people that are going to be like that as well. And just also know that the healing, it says healing and enlightenment are within, and it is. And there is going to be some healing because regardless of what these friendships that are leaving you were like, it can still be hurtful, okay? So just keep that in mind. Last, we have one last card. And I just love this deck because it's pretty. It shows a butterfly dragon. It also shows a plant. But there's also a question or questions that are great for reflections. So I just want to get a card for you overall for the ending. Okay. Pride. Amaryllis is the flower. And gaudy Commodore is the butterfly. Oh, let me read about that. So pride. So just the card in itself. Oh, it's funny I said card in itself. If you have pride in yourself, right? If you are proud of who you are, how you behave, where you are in the world, you're proud of your career, your job, I don't know, you're proud, and you should be, right? Being prideful is not a bad thing unless it's prideful in a bad way, okay? No, everyone should have pride, and especially pride in yourself. Again, these are the people that you're going to be attracting to you. But let's see here. What does it say? Okay. The questions. What do I take pride in? These are questions to ask yourself every day in reflection. All right. What do I take pride in? And how can I cultivate more pride in what I am doing now? All right. I love those. So just, you know what, as you're sitting in reflection, think of those questions. And again, I feel like this is all about, you getting rid of some old, bringing in new, or nurturing and strengthening what you already have when it comes to friendship. And joy is the end result here. Okay, so pile 3, this is your message. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please throw me a like. And if you enjoy my energy readings, I love to do them with theme decks. But energy is energy. I do many different types. Please subscribe. And if you know anyone that may need to hear this message about friendships, please share it with them, because getting these messages out is what counts, right? It's why I do this. It's part of my North Node. It's part of my path this lifetime. I have my side business where I'm a medium and a tarot and oracle reader with clients, and I do astrology readings because I'm also an astrologer. This is what I do to help people free of charge, we'll say, right? And just to try to get the message out to as many people as possible. So thank you for your time. I appreciate your support, and I will see you in my next reading.